Hello everybody, this is Rickybrosh Racing and welcome to Road Atlanta for the second race of the Blancpain Sprint Series. Well, as you can see on the screen, I qualified in 10th in the mid-pack. It will be a 40-minute race with one pit stop. This was a pretty quiet race, but I had some fun moments in it. But stay tuned for the longest record points I've made so far, so enjoy guys! Good to see I'm not the only one driving an Audi.
Get ready, going green.
Here we go. Cold tires and cold brakes. Have to remember that. First trip for freebie. Wow, the car is real understeery when the tires are cold. That might be the most important turn on the entire track to get a good exit. As usual, you need to speed along the straightaway here. As you can see, I obviously went with the Audi instead of the BMW Z4. Even though I was a couple of tenths quicker with the Z4 during my practice, but I felt like the other cars were going to drive past me on the straightaway there because of the speed of the Z4. It's just too slow. And I also wanted to try out the Audi finally in a race. The only problem I have with the Audi is that I tend to make more mistakes in it. That might mainly be because the Z4 is a much more stable car, I guess. Hopefully I can make use of the straight line speed of the Audi. It's a fun car to drive, and it's just the V10 sounds so good. So yeah, I'm in 8th position, which was it's 2 positions ahead of my qualifying. So hey, it's gone alright so far. Have a 3-namer ahead of us, Ruben Fernandez Muniz. I'll try to catch him here, we'll see how it goes. I'm not so used to the Audi, so I don't know, I'm just trying to drive safely here in the first couple of laps. And hopefully I'll get to turn up the pace later on. I'm about 1 second off pace here. I want to keep it in the low 120s or the high 119s. Yeah, I overdrove that. It's a hard corner. It's hard to be consistently fast in it. Well, the good thing is Z4 behind me won't catch me along the straight here. And there's really no other section of the track to overtake someone except for this straight, so that's why I feel the Z4 is so kind of bad on this track, I guess. I may be wrong about that one though. I did. Oh, we had a moment there ahead of us. I was faster in the Z4 during in the practices, consistently faster. I had no problem making 119s, the mid 119s, and even the low 119s a couple of times, but bad, way too slow. That was better. A lot of guys have real cool skins on their cars. The one in front of us just looks amazing. Really cool skin. I obviously done a couple of skins. It's so damn time consuming. It just takes way too long to make one. So not that he probably did make the skin himself, the guy in front of us, but still. Could go full throttle around the last turn there in the Z4, but you can't in the Audi. Or at least I can't in the Audi. I'm too slow in that corner. I'm overcautious, I guess. Got a new Z4 in behind us. Guy who was behind me is 3 cars behind me now. I'm guessing he had a moment, or maybe he lost the position during this straightaway last lap. Thing. I haven't practiced my pit entry at all. I haven't even calculated my fuel. All I know is I'm not making the same mistake I did on Hooverwing, where I actually have had to do 2 pit stops because I ran out of fuel. Well, I'm not gaining on the guy in front of me, but I'm not losing him behind me either, so yeah, we're pretty evenly matched, I guess. I did a 120, 23 last lap, which is kind of right. I'm getting a bit of tow from the guy in front of me also, so I feel a lot more confident in the Z4 though. Yeah, I feel like I can push the car more than I drive overly cautious in the Audi, I guess. As we go through Road Atlanta's famous S, which is the most famous part of the track. Most unique part of the track, I guess. It's actually my 3rd race on Road Atlanta. I did the last time I did a Proto GT race, which I drove the Aston Martin EV9 GT1 car, a race which I actually won. I also have done a roof GT3 race. I don't remember which position I ended up with, so I actually raced on this track 2 times before. So yeah, I got to know it pretty good. It's a fun track. You got a lot of blind corners though, so especially this one coming up, not now but here in a while. Took a while to learn, I guess, at least for me, this turn here. You gotta take it a bit different in the Audi than you could in the Z4. The Audi really doesn't like curves. Seriously doesn't like curves. Well, yeah, coming back to Road Atlanta, it's located in Georgia in the US, I believe. It opened in 1970, 2.55 miles with 12 turns. And it's often mistaken with Road America, which is obviously a completely different track. The track is actually owned by NASCAR, which actually raced here in the late 80s. Nowadays, though, it hosts the IMSA series and the Petit Le Mans, as well as some other smaller events throughout the year. I'm not gonna say that it's the most fun track in iRacing, but the more I drive it, the more I like it, I guess. I've driven it 3 times, like I said before, so yeah, I would like to try out some of the other tracks, but Blancpain Sprint Series had it in their schedule, so kinda gets understeery, the Audi sometimes. Just started thinking which track iRacing should add next, now that they actually added the Le Mans track. Well, we got a fast court coming up. Wow. He was so far back at the start of the straightaway, and he still managed to take me. I think that might be the fastest car of the GT3s, or the car with the highest top end speed. Where did that guy come from? Didn't even notice him in my rearview mirror. I'm guessing he fucked up his qualifying. Yeah, coming back to which track iRacing should add, what do you guys think? Which is the next logical track to add, I guess? I would actually love to see Monte Carlo, the Formula 1 circuit, being added. I'm guessing that's not possible, but it would be a totally wrecked fest every time you raced it, but it's such an iconic track. At least for us Europeans it is. But man, would that be a wreckfest. Now I came up with a track which I actually like. Willow Springs International Raceway in California is one track that I would like to see iRacing add. It's the track you see on YouTube where they often test drive cars, like Motor Trend and stuff. So this is a kind of cool track. They actually had Willow Springs in Project Cars, and they will also have it in Gran Turismo Sport. It's just a cool little track. Nothing special though. It's like in the middle of the desert. The car gets so understeer every time I come through that section there, through this. Well, not much going on now. I actually lost the position now. Yeah, the Ford passed me. I'm in 9th position now. As you can see, I'm number 24 driver here. I'm guessing this race will have an iRacing around 2,100 maybe. That guy is lagging. Well, I'm keeping it down to the low 120s, so that's good. Fuck. Fuck. The mistakes. I'm blaming the Audi. Hopefully I didn't take any damage from that. The car feels alright. Hopefully I can catch this guy. Maybe not this lap, but the next couple of laps on the straightaway here. Wasn't a big mistake though, but yeah, it was enough, I guess. Well, rip Ford. Kind of focus mode right now, trying to catch this guy again. Lost 2 seconds from a mistake in the last lap. The guys up in front are actually not running away from us. 5 laps of fuel left. I actually have no idea how much fuel to add. The whole fuel situation is not going all that well for me. But I just add maximum amounts, I guess. I'm not running out of fuel again, that's for sure. I'm actually catching up to the guys in front of us. Intense race, but not intense that I'm battling other guys all the time. It's you really need to stay focused. More so in the Audi once again than in the BMW. Set for. Best lap so far. kind of woke me up. It was just so quiet for a while there. I kind of lost focus. They're pretty fast, guys up in front. I'm losing the Tibor, the guy that was behind us in the earlier laps. Well, I'm driving 2 more laps. Clean pass by the guy in the Merc. Oh, I caught a curb. Oh, we actually tried to outbrake him in the set for the Blancpain Sprint Series overtake move, the dive bomb. Came in late to the turn there, once again. I'm really trying to push now. Feels like I'm over pushing it though. Guys are starting pitting now. I'm driving 1 more lap. Because why not? Oh, nice move. That was close. Nice move by the guy in the set 4. Okay, deep again. Well, I got in really close to the guy in the set 4 once he passed the guy in the Mercedes. Then I had to brake and I missed the gear before he went into the pits. So I lost. I think I might have lost a second. Otherwise, I would be right behind the guy in the set 4 and probably be able to pass him here. Yeah. See how the pit entry goes. Oh my fucking god. I thought the pit speed limit was way earlier than it actually was. These are the things you should train for ahead of the race. Pro tip. Yeah, as you can see, I actually made a skin for my pit crew guy there. That didn't take quite as long as making a skin for the car though. Another cool feature that iRacing added. As you saw the set 4 going past me there, I probably added more fuel in it. So I was sitting longer in the pits than he was. I wonder how many laps this will go. We're making 1 minute and 20 laps, 40 minutes, 35 laps maybe, 33, 34. Well, I'm not that good at math, especially when I'm driving in iRacing. It doesn't help. Well, I'm not that far behind, so that's good. Yeah, the car that's standing still there. I was about to say rim, but it was a lap car. Well, I'm in 10th position. Well, I started at 10th. Was up to 8th position for a while there. Hopefully I can get a couple of positions back. I have lost like 1.5 seconds during my pit stop. Judging from the distance between the guy that's behind me, Tibor, was around 5.5 to 6, I think 6 seconds behind me before I pitted, so definitely did a quicker pit stop than me. I'm not surprised though, still. Seconds behind the guy in 8th. Yeah, the guy in 9th pitted. So actually up in 9th position. Yeah, I gained back my 9th position once the 4th guy wrecked or spun. Brake earlier there. Set 4 is so much better under braking. I really shouldn't be switching between two cars. Should learn how to get better with one car, I guess. Well, coming back to the Audi, I think the road version debuted in 2006, and it's based on the Lamborghini Gallardo platform. And the GT3 version came in 2009. And because of the GT3 regulations, which basically means all cars must be rear-wheel drive, Audi had to make a completely new sequential gearbox and a new drivetrain, since the road version is obviously four-wheel drive. Well, it has had a few impressive wins so far. It won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring, and it also won back-to-back championships in the real Blancpain GT and Endurance Series in 2014 and 15, I believe it was. So yeah, it's been a pretty successful GT3 car, I guess. And if you have $350,000 laying around, it could be yours. It's just another cool car that iRacing have. It feels real good to drive in the game as well. Well balanced. The only thing you should watch out for are the curves. If you hit the curves, you will probably spin and die. I can feel my tires are worn. Real worn. The car is sliding around a hell of a lot more than it did at the start of the race. I'm feeling like this car eats the tires more than the Z4 does. Which I think might be true in real life. I know it was like that in Project Cars. I'm overdriven my tires. Yeah, we'll see how many more races I do in the Audi. I kind of like the BMW Z4 more. It's Donington Park next week, which I'm definitely doing with the Z4 instead of this car, unless I'm really quicker in this car, which I probably won't be. But otherwise, I'm doing it in the Z4. I don't really remember Donington Park. I think it's a rather technical track, right? One long straightaway. I haven't driven it before, so I would really need my practice. I don't think I ever driven it before in a game, so yeah. I'm kind of gaining on the guy in the Merc. Was around 5 seconds ahead of me. I'm losing grip. He was 5 seconds ahead of me a while ago. He's around 3.5 seconds ahead of me now. Maybe he's losing his tires as well. Gaining on the guy in the Merc. Wonder how many laps we have to go. I'm betting around 10 maybe. Or the 7 or 8 laps. I have time. But my tires are pretty shot, so I'll try to push here and see how close I can get. Now it says 4 seconds. I have really... My front tires are so worn, so unnecessary. It's a pretty long race, the Blancpain Sprint Series races. I wouldn't mind them taking them down to like 30 minutes instead of the 40 minutes. And still have a pit stop in it. I think it adds to the realism of the race. I'm actually keeping my lap times down in the low 120s still, but it's like I gotten used to the car and the track by now, so if I actually had fresher tires, I could probably close to a second faster per lap. It's about to lap a guy in front of us here. Hopefully that will slow him down, but we will probably take him along the straights. I'm betting I will catch him at the end of the straight. Yeah. Unless he really slows down. Car smoking. Haven't noticed that before. It was a car smoking in the pits. But I haven't noticed this as much as I do right now with the tires. No, no, no. I caught the curb. Well, I'm lucky I didn't have anyone behind me. Or anyone closer behind me. Got 4 minutes remaining. I didn't lose any positions there, so that's good. The mistakes. I'm still blaming the Audi. It's the Audi's fault. I wouldn't have made that mistake in the set 4. I'm pretty happy I didn't hit anything though. 4 minutes left on the race. Well, I kinda fucked up my chances of gaining or closing my distance to the guy in the berg now. Staying away from the curbs this time. I gotta say, this is a fun series though, the Blancpain Sprint Series. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. You can actually follow the real Blancpain Sprint Series if you're interested on YouTube. I think it's Ismo TV and GT World that live streams their races and also archives them on YouTube. Can be pretty fun at times. It's kind of complicated, the different classes and stuff, but got almost every GT3 car that I know of, except for the Corvette C7R and a couple of others. Corvette would be a hell of a lot of fun to have in iRacing, by the way. Well, yeah, Blancpain. It's they took after the FIA GT1 Championship. I think it ended. They didn't have enough budgets, if I remember correctly. And then they started this new series with Blancpain as the main sponsor, which is actually a watch manufacturing company. I think it's the last race of the season on October 2nd, which is in Catalonia in Barcelona. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Like I said, it could be pretty fun at times. If you're into real motorsports. Well, yeah, not much going on now. I won't catch the guy in the Merc. He's over 12 seconds ahead of me. And I kind of lost pace because of my tires. I'm betting he has as well, but I'm losing the guy behind me, so that's good. Guy 9. Driving overly cautiously again. There's no point pushing too much. It's only 8.5 seconds ahead of me now. I'm closing on him. I don't know what happened. Oh, he passed the lap guy, of course. Caught him in this section here. The problem is I have to pass him as well. towards the last lap. Well, that won't happen. Let's see, make some mistakes. Mistake, of course. You see on the lap times, I'm actually over a second slower now than I was before. Yeah, it's been a pretty fun race. Kind of quiet though. Not much battling going on. I wonder what happened to the guy behind us. I can't see him. He probably made some kind of mistake somewhere. Because the guy behind me is 15 seconds behind me, so yeah. Well, as usual, thank you so much for watching. Just try to survive the last turn here. Stay tuned for the wreck report at the end of the race. I'm betting it had a few crashes in there. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.
Really well.
Finish him!